Happy Friday. Happy New Year's Eve. I, like many of you, I feel like we're ending the year on kind of a somber note as, we were heading into the holidays, many of us feeling like, COVID we were beating COVID and the Omicron surge has been disheartening. Um, but when I, this is what's giving me hope at the close of a difficult year. Uh, Last year, I think part of what feels hard is because last year at this time we were so hopeful that 2021 was going to fix everything, and of course it hasn't, and we still are facing a lot of problems, including not everyone's as excited to take the vaccine in the numbers that we need to really eliminate it. But when I think back on 2020, this is what gives me hope. I would much rather be in 2021 fighting COVID with vaccines under President Biden than last year fighting COVID without vaccines under a President Trump. So this year was better than last year. And so to me, that points towards things will be better next year also. Not as dramatically better as we were hoping, but still, my Christmas was so much more comfortable knowing that everyone at the table was fully vaccinated and boosted than last year with the exact same people because we really wanted to be together, but we were sitting 6 feet apart eating Christmas dinner. And worried that we might be getting each other sick. So a cautiously hopeful note looking at the next year. This is just a side note, like not related to anything except our church community, but I just was on the internet looking for, wanted to find a pendant or a charm that says love your neighbor. And when I entered that to search, what came up first was a thing that says love yourself first. And boy, I really thought that's a lot of what's wrong in the world right now. I mean, I believe we should love ourselves, but for that to come up first when I was searching for love your neighbor points towards a lot of the work that we need to do in the world. It's one of the reasons I'm so grateful for church community, which one of the roles I firmly believe that church plays in our lives is to help us resist mainstream forces that point us in directions that are harmful and selfish and consumerist and all of those kinds of things. So I just wanted to share that. I felt that moment of gratefulness for, I found Unitarian Universalism in 2004 and, can look back and be grateful that I'm walking this path and this path with all of you than to be out there on my own. Something to focus on. I've been talking about boosters. Now we really need to talk about masks. I'm reading from lots of sources that having high quality masks is more important than it's ever been. I've been very happy as a cloth mask user, and it's time to set those aside. We're hearing those aren't good enough. My husband found us a box of N95s. We have those. We have some triple layer medical type masks as well. So if you haven't sort of upgraded your masks, that's something to look into. So focus on your masks. And then just another side note, since it's the end of the year, I do want to say, intellectually, I know that this is just turning a page on the calendar and there's nothing materially different about tomorrow than today. And some years I'm completely not interested in the new year. But there are times that it does seem like sort of post-holidays, a time to set some new intentions can be fun. So I'm not really into intentions that are about berating ourselves. I feel like we do enough of that on our own, at least in our circle of Chalice community. That seems to be the culture of a lot of us, is to be hard on ourselves. And so our spiritual work is always to be gentler. But yes, I'm a vitamin supplement taker, so I'm making some revisions to my vitamin supplement routine based on a podcast I just listened to. And then I also felt that pull this year. Facebook was trying to get me with the advertisements for planners and calendars, and I do love that kind of stuff. But of course, I've tried enough of them to know what works for me and what doesn't. But it inspired me to make my own. So I bought a small binder, and I'm using Word to make my own daily to-do lists and checklists. So if you are in if that feels fun to you to set some intentions for the new year, I encourage you to do that. And if that doesn't sound fun, do not. And please, that's another way of resisting those voices around us. Many corporations will want to be selling us things in January based on making us feel terrible about ourselves. So I encourage you to spot those messages when you see them and resist them, because you are wonderful just the way you are. And I love you, and we love you here at Chalice. So blessings as we enter 2022, maybe a little less exuberantly than we entered 2021. But I hope you join me in looking ahead with hope. Blessings. Take care.